Okay, I'm with Chris Vobe. Congratulations, Chris, on your victory at Culture. No disrespect to the result, it's one of the big shocks of the night, particularly the margin of victory. What do you put it down to?
Well, I think it's two things. Culture Glazeby-Croft residents have cast votes very firmly for Labour today, and two reasons they did that. One is their unhappiness with the direction of David Cameron's government and the impact that is having on families and pensioners in all three villages. But it is also a vote of trust and confidence in the local work that my team and I do in all three of the villages. I'm backed by a superb team of parish council candidates and activists, and we work hard, very hard in the community, get our sleeves rolled up onto the issues that matter to local people. And I think that is the contrast that people have drawn today between us and the Conservatives.
Now, Keith's obviously represented the people of Culture for a long, long time. What's your message to him?
Well, a message of commiseration to Keith Bland. Obviously, I can't wish him well politically, but I do wish him and his family all the best personally.
And you've been campaigning locally on a lot of issues. I've noticed personally you made sure you've got a high profile in the local magazine, Culture's Live, getting back to basics, making sure roads are looked after and things like that. Do you think getting back to grassroots has played a big part in your victory?
Yes, I think it has. I think there are enormous sections of Culture Glazeby-Croft that have been sidelined and overlooked in the past decade by their Conservative representatives, and I think that a team that were willing to roll their sleeves up, as you say, go right back to the basics, the fundamentals, the concerns that people are worried about on their doorstep, on their street, in their local community, are the things that have really mattered during this election, and they've shown that it is the Labour Party they trust to work on those issues and deliver the results for them.
So now you've been elected, what's the first thing you're going to do?
I think that all three villages have very different priorities. I'm due to meet with some young people in the next few weeks to talk about the kind of facilities and needs that they want to see in Culture. I'll continue my work with the people who run the Glazeby Play Area Committee. There are some fantastic local issues in Croft that I'm looking forward to really getting involved in. We've got the resurfacing of Withington Avenue coming up later on in this year. Is there one single issue, one single priority? No, there isn't. Are there many? Yes, there are.
Now, you've obviously got a high-profile mother, Helen Jones, who's MP for Warrington North.
I hadn't noticed, Gary, from the articles you run on your website.
Has she given you any help and advice in the way you've run your campaign?
Well, Helen's been involved in the Culture campaign, as she has been involved in all of the campaigns in Warrington North. She's a great member of Parliament and a great champion for her constituency, and she's given her backing to me in the same way that she's given her backing to all my fellow candidates and councillors today.
And have you got hopes and aspirations to follow in her footsteps one day?
No, my priority is Culture Glazeby-Croft.
Okay, Chris. Congratulations.
Thank you, Gary.
And good luck for the future. Okay, Keith, obviously a very disappointing night for you in Culture. What do you put it down to?
Partly national, partly a campaign that was really high profile by our Labour candidate. I was not only fighting him, I was fighting the MP as well as the Shadow Minister, Hilary Benn, and one or two more. Just couldn't cope with it, I don't think.
Were you surprised by the margin of victory?
Yes, I really was, yeah. If I was going to lose, and I had in the back of my mind that I might do, if I'd have lost by 200 or 300, then I would have been reasonably, not happy, but I would have been satisfied. This, I just feel like I've been kicked in the teeth, and it's
I mean, how many years have you served the people of Culture, Glazeby?
Well, on the borough from '97 till now, and from then I had 13 years as a parish councillor, as a county councillor. I've been a parish councillor for 30 years, and I'm now just going to have a look and see whether I'm still on that.
Now, you're leader of the Conservative group on the Borough Council.
I was, yes.
What's going to happen now?
Well, they've got the meeting tomorrow morning, so there's 4 of them at the moment. There's Sue, Sheila, Les and Paul Kennedy. So they'll have a meeting on tomorrow morning, and they'll decide who's going to be the new leader. And
what's the future for Keith Bland?
The future of Keith Bland is that I'm going on holiday in a fortnight's time. I shall take stock of what's happened, and then I shall make a decision.
Okay, Keith, well, all the best in the future, and commiserations.
And thank you very much, Gary, for all your support over the years.
No problem. Take care. Ian, judging by the results, you must be pleased that you weren't up for election yourself this year.
Maybe you're right about that, Gary, yes.
What do you put it down to?
Well, I mean, it's absolutely clear. I mean, I knew last night when I heard the results coming in from all up and down the country, but particularly in the northwest, where I haven't heard the results this morning from the northwest. The Liberal Democrats appear to have done particularly badly. And it's 2 years into a sort of a government where we're part of the coalition. We haven't been here before, and people have just chosen to take it out on us. It's absolutely nothing to do with local things. I'm quite convinced about that. It's purely a national reaction. But I think one of the other disappointing things, and this affects all the parties, is the ridiculously low turnouts. It wasn't that many years ago when the turnouts were sort of double what they are today for local elections, and that's disappointing. It shows that so many people are just not interested and can't be bothered to vote.
Disillusioned?
And they're disillusioned, yes, for whatever reason. Well, I mean, I think we could spend a long time talking about the reasons, but it's very disappointing. It's up to the politicians of all parties to try and sort that out.
So how will you be regrouping now?
Well, I mean, it is obviously disappointing because it's not that long ago that we had 28 with a major party. We're now down to 12. We lost about 5 or 6 each year for the last 3 years. And it is disappointing, but I mean, we've got a core of 12 people, and these things go in cycles. I mean, we've seen it to the other parties. They come and go. I think there's an interview I heard this morning on the radio that when Tony Blair's formed his government, he lost about 2,000 councillors over a fairly short period of time. So these things come and go, they go in cycles. So it's totally inevitable that the party locally loses out when they're in power nationally.
I mean, you say they go in cycles. I mean, we've got a situation here in Warrington, Stockton Heath, it's been a Lib Dem heartland, and you've gone down to third in the poll this year, and Labour have won the seat for the first time ever.
I know, it's very disappointing. I'm not trying to say I'm not disappointed, because I am disappointed. And I have to say we've done rather worse than I hoped. I knew we were going to lose some seats, but it's probably at the bottom end of my expectations, so I'm disappointed.
OK, and thanks for your time.
Okay.
Labour leader Terry ONeill, you must be very happy.
Extremely happy. I think it's a vote of confidence by the people of Warrington in the new Labour administration that was elected last May.
2 big wins for you in particular, Chris Vobe at Culture and Lawrence over at Stockton Heath. That must be very pleasing indeed.
There were some exceptional wins tonight. Like you say, Culture was one. Very, very good campaign by Chris. Whittle Hall, Westbrook was exceptional campaigns. But I think the one that topped it all really is Stockton Heath with Lawrence Murphy. I mean, if you look at the political map of Warrington now, that's the first inroad by the Labour Party into the south of the canal, and it's one that we need to pick up on and follow.
So what's next for Labour now with your increased majority?
Just work hard for Warrington. I'm Warrington born and bred, as you know. I'm passionate about the town. My administration are determined to get the town through these difficult times, and we're going to succeed. We need to protect our communities. That's the business community, the voluntary community, and obviously our own residents, because it's going to be difficult times ahead, but we're determined to get the people of Warrington through them.
I mean, on the other side of the coin, Warrington's lost one of its veteran politicians in Keith Bland at Culture. What's your message to him, because he was leader of the Conservative Party?
Yeah, I mean, Keith has obviously been a victim of politics. He knows that. I think it's happened to him before. He's obviously served Warrington well, but again, like you say, it was an excellent campaign by Chris Vobe, and the people of Culture have obviously voted Chris in.
OK, Terry, thanks for your time.